Hey guys, I would like to talk around building capacity for growth and success. I see a lot of people make a lot of effort, but those efforts are not intentional or directed to something. Okay, either you're a professional, you're a business person, entrepreneur, you're into anything, even if you're a pastor, it's very important that you build capacity for what you do and build capacity to accommodate growth. I served in a local church, and one of the things I observed in the early years serving in a local church is that brothers who are very committed, those kind of people who are workers in the church, they're very busy, they're dedicated to what they are doing. A couple of these guys are very broke compared to some other guys who are just random guys. You don't see them in church every week. They come in this week and you may not see them in the next 2 weeks. They come back and they are having some kind of money to be able to give out for works in the church. But the guys who are in church, the guys who are dedicated doing things in church are broke. And I realized over time that being broke wasn't because they were dedicating a lot of time to church. It's not, because I do dedicate a lot to church. It's just about having the right capacity. As you pray, yes, you must pray. I don't belong to the school of thought who tells you limit prayers and all those crap. Prayer is action. It is real. Prayer works. And you must dedicate time to pray. Then we talk about faith, which is also an action word also, which is actually exercising the things that you have prayed about, taking intentionality about it. You have prayed for the nations. What capacity have you built to take over those nations? These are the things that you must be intentional about. Like I would always say, if you say you want a job, then let me ask you, what kind of trainings, what kind of skills have you exposed yourself to that when this job comes up, it will become yours? And when it also becomes yours, because there are different levels to that role. So the role of an accountant, okay, the person who is responsible for the financial management of an organization, will start from a clerk to an whatever, maybe accountant. Then it moves on to who you call head of account. Then you talk about the chief finance officer and the vice president of finance or thereabout, depending on how an organization is structured. So who told you can't be the CFO? You can. It's a function of your capacity in terms of your skills and the competencies you've acquired, the experience, and how those experiences have shown that you're ready for the big things, the big stuffs. And we're talking about mastery of skills, mastery of trade, of things that you want to do. And this period, I'm trying to release a lot of video in this early part of the year, is to help God's children, just like I am too. And also I'm a work in progress. I'm still learning, okay? To learn to give attention to the things that would bring about the transformations and the opportunity that God has for them. You will be amazed if you give attention to building your capacity. How do you build capacity? You can build that through trainings. Look out for problems that people are unwilling to solve, but is very popular, and intentionally learn how to solve that problem. Let me give you an example. To learn to be a software developer, it's no joke, It involves a lot of dedication of time, a lot of attention to be able to become a well-groomed software engineer. Do you understand? These are the things that you should give attention to, okay? You should look at those skills, those things that build your competencies that people need. And it's actually very popular in terms of the problem. It's something that is prevalent out there. And people would need someone like you to come solve it. When you've done this, it's also very important to be in the right environment, the right network, the people who want what you have. Whether it's a skill, whether it's certain trades you've learned, people who want that thing that you have. You must be in that environment. You must be able to create the awareness that you are available to offer them the solution to the problem they have. In this year, build capacity, build mastery for certain skills. And as you pray, as you're committed in the house of the Lord, It will also show by the kind of resources you have. So those are your dreams for the house of the Lord. Those things that you want to achieve in the house of the Lord. Now you can do it. Now you can do it. And finally, give attention to attitude. Okay? How you relate to people. You call yourself a child of God, but people are not really willing to confide in you. You say, no, they are sinners, they are dirty, you can't relate to them. Hey, that is not true. That is not true. If Jesus was like that, it was like you, that means a lot of people would not have been able to receive of the gift of salvation. So there must be that way of you being able to work with people, that interpersonal relationship, cultivate the culture of building the right relationship, the right connections with people around you. And don't be in a hurry to judge people. Build the right attitude with the people. Be ready to tolerate and celebrate people. There are two things. Tolerance would come to in place where you see that people do things that do not really align with your principles, okay? It doesn't mean you should just throw them out. You can, with love, with understanding, guide them around how they should do things without even judging them. Celebration is people who are doing the things that you like, people who are doing the things that you aspire to become someday. Be intentional to look at opportunities to celebrate these guys. It's time to build capacity, guys. It's time to build capacity. You know, I've said it. I said this year, the earnest expectations of creation wait for the manifestations of the sons of God. And in the manifestations of the sons of God, it's not just limited into the much of a tongue you can speak, how much of tongues you can declare. It has to show in your relationship. It has to show in your business, in the place you work, in the things you do. People must see you and they must see that exceptionalism. That is very important. And those are the things that I'd like you to give attention to in this new year. Thank you. God bless you. See you some other time.